Hello and welcome to today's beer tasting live from Salzburg. It's number 18 in this series of the Kalea Advent Calendar. And my name is Konrad Seidler. I'm a beer writer. I've been writing about beer for more than 30 years. I've published several books, done some TV shows. But today's show is very special because it's live. It's a live tasting. We'll taste a wonderful beer. I gotta get it from the fridge, and I think we'll have a wonderful time together because we'll also have the brewer with us. So first thing is the star of tonight's beer tasting. That's the beer, and we'll have someone who will discuss all this with us. It's Claudio. Claudio, he will help get through your questions to our discussion. We have Claudio in the face? Okay, good. And then we'll look to number 18. Today is number 18, and we'll... yes, it's there. It's a can of Erl Hell, a typical Bavarian Helles, and we'll try to sample that beer. And now it's time to get the brewer to discuss the beer with us. I think it's time to have you.
Thank you very much.
Well, welcome. Yeah. Come on, have a seat. And, well, next thing is we'll have a beer, I think.
Thank you very much.
So the beer you brought is Erl Hell.
Yes.
It's a Bavarian Helles.
Correct.
And Bavarian Helles, of course, hell doesn't mean hell, like in English. It means just, it's a pale colored beer. It's, well, we've got to believe that it's bottom fermented. So it's a lager beer, and it's a style of lager that only came into life in the second half of the 19th century. Because before that, people were drinking from beer steins, like you have it here.
That's homage on our like ancestors. We reintroduced this Steinmark this year because of our anniversary. And yeah, it's a special function. Most people don't know. You can actually put this Stein into the freezer or the fridge, and then it conserves the cold and keeps your beer cold even longer.
And that's a very good feature that all these old beer steins have. You always have a fresh beer in there. But the disadvantage of it is you can't see just what a wonderful color this beer has. It's straw to golden, has a wonderful foam, which actually you can see if you look into your mug, but people yeah, show it. And you know, this is a 1 liter beer stein.
Yes.
So, and we only get half a liter in here. Well, I'm not sharing it with you. You have to hold on to your own. But what you can see, it has a wonderful foam. It's clear, brilliant clear. Has a nice carbonation. And it has this wonderful maltiness that you pick up on your nose when you get this malty aroma, slightly grainy and very fresh, very low in hops, but we'll discuss hops later. First, I want to take a sip of that one. Cheers. Yeah, very refreshing. You get this mild maltiness on the palate, just a slight tingling from the carbonation, and very, very soft on the hops. Which hops are you using in this one?
We are using 100% natural aroma hops.
Whole hops.
Yes, not the
Okay.
not the traditional full hops, but it's called pellets type 90.
Okay.
It's basically the hops and conserved.
Which variety is it?
Yeah, it's a Hallertauer Perle.
Oh, the Perle. Well, that's a very broad spectrum for the Perle.
Fun fact, the main part of the Perle is our family and company name. It's Erl in the middle.
But the one feature of that beer is its wonderful soft maltiness. Which malts are you using? Is that all Pilsner malt?
We're using mainly Pilsner malt, and I would say the other ingredients are our secret recipe, but of course it's everything according to the Bavarian brewery law.
Which includes that you can only brew with water, malted barley, in case it's bottom fermenting beer, hops and yeast. The yeast strain, of course, is a bottom fermenting yeast strain.
Yes.
Which one is it?
It's Weinstefan type 3470. Yes.
Yeah,
Classic.
That's a classic. And it gives this is a strain that sort of enhances the malt aroma, which is wonderful in this beer. It's very easy drinking. Many people don't understand that beers that are low in hops and have a smooth flavor on the palate, these beers are the most difficult to brew. Because today we see many beers that are heavily hopped, have lots of alcohol, have lots of maybe even sourness. Acidity can be very high in some beers that are modern beers. But this beer is a typical beer developed around 1900.
Yes, it's basically the main beer in our company nowadays, and in whole of Bavaria, it's the last years, 10 years, it's trending. Even more, and a lot of competition in this area now. So it's even more important for us to deliver like perfect or best work to compete in this area.
Yeah, and these beers, they're, as they say, unforgiving. If there's any flaw in this beer, it will show. Oh, Claudio has some news for us.
We have one question in the chat. Joseph, can you tell us about the inn that is running by the brewery? Special dishes at the restaurant that would go with this beer? And how many rooms are available?
Special dishes are like nothing too heavy or too light, I would say, just a Wiener Schnitzel, for example. And the room number, we have about, I think, I can't tell exactly, about 25 rooms, I would say, yes, double and single rooms. And it's about 150 meters away from the brewing company. So if you are there within opening hours or weekdays, you might get a private tour if you ask me early enough.
So you give a tour and then tell people, well, there's an inn just next door, have a few more beers and stay there for the night.
It's even better because we have a separate inn. It's called the Bräu. It's in the beer company in the Straubinger Straße. It's directly in the beer company, and you can just order beer and pretzels there. So if you are hungry,
drink beer.
You eat 2 pretzels and more beer. And if you want to stay overnight or eat a la carte, like Bavarian dishes, normal dishes in German, then you have to go 150 meters further the street down.
Good. And I see if you go there, there's lots of. I have to show this. This is a wonderful beer list they have. They have great beers, starting with the Helles, but they also have a dark, a fest beer, a dunkle Weisse, which is a top fermenting beer, Büdelweisse, which means it has a flip top bottle, an Imperator. Imperator means it's a doppelbock.
Exactly. Imperator is my first own recipe. I created it in 2015 because of the 500 years of the purity law celebration. And it's very strong, but also very dangerous beer because
It's easy
because
drinking?
It's very easy drinking. It's light colored, but it's also like a viscosity which is it makes the carbonation move slower. It's that heavy brewed. It's like very very interesting to look.
I understand you won 2 gold medals at the European Beer Star with that.
2016 and 2018.
Did I hear another bell?
There's another question from Steven. Joseph, do you export to the United States? For example, to Kentucky?
There might be a beer calendar available with our Helles, but we don't support full the full range of beers in our export connections. Just this Hell at the moment.
I understand it's very hard for a small brewer to export to the United States. Is that true?
You have to invest a lot of time and I think money as well. And so if you have like both of it, which you don't have if you run a small business, then you could do it, but it's not our.
And you need
not possible.
Different labels for different states and different bottle sizes and all that.
Yes, exactly. Also, I'm very curious how our cans are turning out because we have a bottling partner here. We can't fill cans on our own, but we get the beers getting picked up at our facility and then it's delivered straight to the can filling line.
In Germany, people believe that canned beer is cheap beer and cans are supposed to be bad for the environment. But all in all, it's a very good thing to do to the beer because it's beer cannot get light struck in there. It's lightweight, so probably it should be some rethinking on the use of cans here in Europe.
Especially in the export businesses, it's not replaceable. You can ship it one way, and it's a fixed calculation possible.
And the cans get recycled.
Exactly.
And well, you've been doing, you and your family have been doing this business for about 150 years now?
Yes, right this year we turned 150 years old, and I took over the company as 6th generation in April. So I'm actually the 6th generation brewmaster in Geiselhöring.
And Geiselhöring, okay, we'll talk about Geiselhöring a bit later, but Claudia has another question for us.
Yeah, we have another question. And that is, what is the meaning of Vollbier?
Of what?
Of Vollbier.
Vollbier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone wonders what it is.
Yeah. It's just the glass of beer. It's because of the beer tax classification. It just means it has enough word or degree Plato, which is the tax class, and it's in Germany. It have to be 11 degrees of Plato to be in the Vollbier class.
And so this just is the original gravity, but technically all beers of that strength could be called Vollbier, but they're not. If it's maybe a porter, then it would still, the taxman would say, oh, it's a Vollbier, not a porter. Yeah. But you don't brew porters, but you even brew a non-alcoholic beer, Nullstoff, which means no stuff at all.
Exactly. It's a fun name, but we are not proud of those beers. We are proud of our 10 regular beers, which we brew with a lot of passion. And
yeah, you mentioned that that Helles is the main beer style in Bavaria and also in your company. If you look where people are drinking this beer, like people, of course, some drink it at home, some will drink it in one of the restaurants or the Bräustübel, but there's also festivals.
Exactly, and in festivals you have a selection. As a customer, you can choose if you supply your beer fest with a lager or a hell beer, or even go to the fest beer level, which is special occasions like the München Oktoberfest and the Straubinger Gaubohnenfest they require a fast beer level. This means it has to be 13 degree gravity.
Which makes the beer more full-bodied, a little bit strong in alcohol. But many people just don't understand that these beers can make you drunk much quicker than this Hell is.
More dangerous if you can't, if you're not used to them. But it's basically a protection for the customer because they can't be tricked by the Bierfest and the businesses. In case they would sell light beer to earn more money or sell more beer, so it's just like a minimum requirement, which is on a high level.
Yeah, I mean that. Claudia.
Another question, and I think it's important. Joseph, can you explain why you choose to drink beer from a ceramic stein instead of clear glass?
I actually choose both, but because of our 150-year anniversary, I brought with me this special collection stein, and I used the stein at our Bock beer and Starkbierfest. That's the occasion we use steins, and on like special beer fests in small groups, because on the bigger beer festivals you always use glass. So I actually like both, but this one is more special for a special occasion.
And this one is a copy of a historic beer stein as
Exactly.
well. Well, one thing that we should discuss when we're talking beer festivals, normally if you go to a beer festival in the US, go to the GABF, literally thousands of beers, then you get beer from small tasters from many breweries. You mentioned Oktoberfest, but even you cannot bring your beer to Oktoberfest because Oktoberfest is only open to breweries that are inside the city limits of Munich. Or you can get your beer to other beer festivals in Bavaria.
Yes, there are like a little bit more limitations, like the Bierfest Wien supply is the greatest beer festivals after the Wiesn, the Oktoberfest. It's limited to the beer companies or brewing companies in Straubing area. So it's a similar restriction, but a little bit wider. And this is all over Bavaria, in Rosenheim, in Hamburg, depending on wherever you look. Most of them have some limitations. Not all of them, like if you go to the smaller levels, city or district festivals, they usually select however they feel, but it's a common habit to limit the applications.
But if you go to like the Geiselhöring, which is a famous festival for everyone in Bavaria, because the Oktoberfest is full of tourists. But the Geiselhöring, when I go there, I think I'm the only one who's not born in Bavaria, and it's fantastic. And the beer you get a 1 liter mug like this one, but in glass.
Glass mug, and you have an experience like it's very natural because you don't have those entrance limitation controls. You actually experience a lot less traffic and crowding. And we always go there. Like my friends, my family, our customers are invited. It's a unique experience over 11 days, and we supply a 5,000-seated beer tent, which is just unique feeling. And you can't basically. I think if you have the 8,000 seats in Oktoberfest and the 5,000 in the Geiselhöring, you probably won't feel the difference.
No, it's a great festival. I mean, it's so relaxed.
Yes.
Everyone shows up in national costume. I mean, you of course you have your own shirt from your brewery, but would you wear traditional clothes at the Geiselhöring?
All the time. I actually wear it a lot on festivities. But today I decided to get a bit in a relaxed outfit for Christmas
for America.
session for America.
For our viewers in America, which is great. Well, we have been talking about this before, and you've mentioned the age of your brewery. Don't mention it again. But we we were talking about glasses, and we will give away a few empty glasses, in fact. There's one question that those who want to win these glasses should answer. What is the year that Erl-Bräu was founded? So if you remember what we've been talking about, how long this brewery has been in existence, and Sepp, he mentioned the year 1516, but this is not correct. This is the year of the Bavarian purity law. The brewery was founded a few years later, and they're having a Jubilee celebration this year. And if you listen to what we are talking about, it's easy to find out which year the brewery was founded. So if you have the chance, we get someone on the line. He's too early?
We have to show the number.
There's someone who knows the number. Hi, it's Conrad. Who am I talking to? Rob. Hello. So, Rob, you're calling from where?
I am calling from South Carolina.
North Carolina. Have you ever had the L beer there?
No, it's not usually found here.
But you'd like to sample some, so probably you have to come to Bavaria to sample it.
That's true.
And Rob, did you listen to the age that we've been talking about, how long this brewery has been in existence? Can you guess the year when it was founded?
I think it was 1871.
Well, that's correct. Yes, 1871. That's the year when Erl Brewery was founded. It's in a small town, Geiselhöring. Actually, I've never been to Geiselhöring, but it's close to Straubing, where the Gäubodenfest is. Have you ever been to Bavaria?
Oh, yes, several times. I've been to Munich and we've been to Nuremberg a couple times.
Well, what I recommend is when you get to Bavaria, try to go to the Gäubodenfest. It's really different from Oktoberfest, and you can find Erl beer there, which is, it's a very good idea to go to the Gäubodenfest once.
Oh, I would love to, yeah.
Right, I think we have your number, and they will call you back to get your address, and then they'll send you a few glasses of tasting glasses from Kalea. And I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you all too. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Right, that was quick. We hadn't even communicated the number, but people find out. It's great. People reach me without telling them my phone number. But this is, there's real beer geeks who really love beers and they're interested in beer. This is something that I've been writing about beer for more than 30 years now. And when I started, people were not talking about beer. Not even brewers were talking about beer. Yes, brewers, our beer is brewed according to Reinheitsgebot, and then there was not much more to tell. But you could even tell something about the water you're using.
Exactly. Fun fact, it's a special well. It's located just below the beer company or the brewery. And it's about 70 meters deep, and there's a special quality about it. It's nitrat-free. It's free of nitrate, which is a problem if you have a lot of agriculture or other business in the area, like animal farms.
And then
Can
you
need the water,
going in,
exactly, it's get over 50, 67 years. And so we have none of those elements in there. So we have a special purity guarantee for these layers. That's what our conclusion is. So we have a very special quality for the water as well.
And that water gives or contributes also to the soft taste. Because you get a soft feeling when you drink that soft water.
Exactly.
We got another question. Someone asked, can we get another phone call in? No, we can't. But
you have talked about so much about the Gäuboden Festival. And one question is, what time of the year is the Gauboden Festival?
It's usually between about around the 10th to 20th of August, and changes a few days. Always like starts 2 days earlier or later, but always around those 11 days, just in the middle of August.
Yeah, I know people who live in the area, and they take those 10 days off from work and spend all 10 days at the Gäubodenfest.
You usually have those dates a few years ago, so you don't get the dates like in the beginning of the year, but 2 years ago. So you can plan your holidays, you can plan your travels, and most of the companies, as you just said, are they're doing their company holidays. If they're not necessary business, they usually close down over Christmas and the Gäubodenfest.
Yeah, I once arrived there by train, and it was like everyone was getting off the train, and they're all going to the Gäubodenfest, which is like a 15 minutes walk, and you get really thirsty. Then you get your first mass, you drink 1 liter, and you're fine. And you're doing the second mass, and then it's quite okay. But then you have the 10th mass, which means 10 liters of beer, and it's a stronger beer than this one. Well, then you should slow down in your drink.
10 is like the Champions League. I usually, my level is like around 5. On good days 6, bad days 4, but 5 is like a...
But what you can do is you can order a Schaummaß.
Yeah, you can if you want, but you have to want first.
You pay the same, but you get less beer.
Exactly, you have like it's more fresh if you have difficulties of finishing a 1 liter, like in the later hours. You just order a Schaummaß or Schaumige, which just means
Schaummaß means that it's not full of beer, but there's lots of foam in there.
You actually pay exactly the same price, so you it's a present for the beer tent, but it's probably saves you the next day if you're on your limit.
Yeah, I had difficulties getting home that day. Of course, going by train was easy, but well, I should not have stayed all night there.
You see it coming. If you drink beer, you can actually control it. If you just do a normal speed, except for example the first one, then just switch to normal speed, and then you won't have any problems usually.
And of course, we don't want to encourage anyone to drink beer to get drunk. We drink beer to have fun
and enjoy the beer and the people.
So let's drink to your health, to your company, to the people visiting the Gäubodenfest, and well,
to our audience,
and to everyone who's following this, and to the next show tomorrow. But before we end, he brought one of these nice animal advertisements. That's original animal.
Yes, it's a special.
And you leave it here as a present
exactly.
for
I will leave
Korea?
it here on this wall.
So we have to mount this on the wall of fame.
We have to find a spot because it's very big, but it's the typical size.
Of course, you have to. If you have good beer, you have got to promote it. So let's see if we find a space for this one. Probably not here.
You have the hammer.
Okay. I got a hammer, you got the nails. Well, maybe we mount it over there.
Mm-hmm.
What about here, huh?
Exactly.
Oh, that should work. Okay, and as we mount this beautiful animal sign here, I think this was a good finish for wonderful tasting. We had a great beer. We had a great brewer with us, and we're going to finish that beer now, and I hope we have lots and lots of audience also tomorrow night. Cheers.